museums? Or do we want a safe haven, which is really what is offered by the world of tourism? Boyce was right, you know. Everyone is an artist. Just take a look at these kinetic sculptures. They are a kind of scarecrow on Gozo. The farmer who made them knows a thing or two about contemporary art. Here I am back in this extraordinary situation, your garden and your studio on the island of Gozo. And I've now known you since the beginning of this year, and we met when you were in the midst of creating what I regarded as a masterpiece, a homage to Mattia Preti. You were an inspiration not just to me, but to the artists I brought. But then you came to Scotland. I introduced you to a very important Scottish artist, Dawson Murray.
My experience in Scotland was, there were too many associations. Hearing you speak about Boyce, it was the first time in 20 years that I actually thought about these little sculptures that I had. Certainly I couldn't afford to go to the south of France, so what I did was, the nearest thing to the south of France was Gozo.
I think you are providing, certainly me and everyone else I bring to Malta, with the kind of inspiration we need. As an artist myself, I do see Tuscany here, I do see Provence here, I do see that light, and I want you to know, please don't give up on this, no matter where you travel. We must bring other artists from all over Europe, from all over the world indeed. Please come now. Hold the light close. Take one last look at this. Look at this extraordinary form. One of the great sculptural forms. The city of Victoria, the island, and then beyond, Malta. This is the road to Meikle Seggie. This is where the art exhibitions of artists wanting to celebrate the millennium should be. Listen to the bells. This is a place of celebration. It's a sacred place. The great High Kirk of Edinburgh, St. Giles Cathedral, is the symbol of international relations that now can exist between Scotland and Malta, because during this, the final Edinburgh Festival of the 20th century, the Maltese government delegation, led by Dr. Louis Galea, Minister of Education and Culture, came for the first time to Scotland to participate in cultural events at the International Festival. Joseph Boyce, he loved this city. He came 8 times here. He made 14 artworks.
When I was in the Berlin Special Unit, I discovered this talent for sculpting and writing. Rich had heard about it and we hit it off. That was 26 years ago. And he certainly made a lasting impression, and he was probably one of the most influential people in my life. I think Boyce was probably one of the most visionary artists of this century. In fact, everywhere you go now, Boyce is everywhere, and people are now coming to terms and beginning to fully understand what he was trying to say.
You know, he had this great message that
art should not be in these places. It should be outside. It should be part of life.
Should be in
Life is
prison.
art. That's right. The thing about Richard Demarco is this. He is a prophet in his own land, unrecognised prophet in his own land. The unfortunate thing is, when Ricky Demarco dies, then people will recognise his contribution. At a time when there's a new millennium, there's a new parliament, I would like to see the new parliament shake off the baggage of the past and begin to act like a mature country which will embrace the Richard Demarcos and recognise them for what they give to this country. But I think what we're seeing now with Boyce, and these institutions are beginning to recognise it. That's why you're seeing all these simultaneous Boyce exhibitions throughout the world. His message to Richard would be that he has carried on his work faithfully. He has not compromised, where many others have compromised. And in these two men, there was a spirit and a bond which has been my great privilege to work with and to experience and to feel honoured to be part of.
Every single human being has a name for the journey, which is the journey of their lives. And that journey I call the road to Meikle Seggie. As T.S. Eliot said, what you're really looking for at the end of all your journeys is the point where you began. And I think somehow or another, this is where I began.
Masangam